Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Onchauskas. Today is the 7th of September 2018. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this last trading day for this week. So today in the session we're going to have a look at a few instruments. But before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers website and specifically our JFD research page, so where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis, and I believe you can find a lot of useful stuff here. Just let me load up the screen quickly, and there we go. So yep, you could find a lot of useful things, so useful analysis, so please, yeah, do not hesitate to visit us here and check us out. Okay, but for now, let's have a look at the charts. Now, the first one I want to quickly touch on is the Euro Stoxx 50. Now, certainly, as you can see, the index is not really feeling well, and of course, as you probably are aware, the indices across the board are selling off, especially this week, and you can see that we've managed to break here some key important support levels. Let me just highlight the first one, and this is what we had on Wednesday. So we've broken this key, very important level here, the 33.45 level. So now, of course, as you can see, the index is kind of continues to push lower. We're breaking now another key important level of support around 3300. So for now, of course, this is not looking positive, as you can see, but the only thing is that because we're already quite oversold, we could hang around here today around this 3300 level. So for now, probably today, keep your eyes on that. If, let's say, this continues to push away from it to the downside, well, the next potential area of support could be seen as this one, the 3260 level, which was marked here by the low of the 26th of March. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. But let's say, like I said, we need to see a nice good move, push away lower here from this 3300 in order to kind of reach the 3260 mark. So, and to be honest, the 3260 is proving to be well, it's not proving to be yet, but it could prove to be a very important level to watch, just given the fact that we saw here a nice rejection around this level in March, in the end of March, and then from which the index kind of pushed back up here. So overall, as you can see, the Euro Stoxx is continues to trade below this downside resistance line here, taken from the peak of the around the 23rd of January. So for now, this is not really looking positive for the index. I mean, everything is pointing more to the downside, but initially I would probably recommend to to kind of hang around and look at this 3300 level, and let's see what it wants to do with it today, because if we're gonna get a nice close here today above this level, above the 3300, this could be seen this could be seen something as not everything is lost for the bulls, and maybe the bulls could pick up on that and try to lift the index back up here towards this 3345 level, from which of course maybe the bears could consider that as a nice opportunity to sell again, to step in and push the index lower. So for now, certainly keep your eyes on the 3300 level. Let's see what he wants to do with it today. Jumping into one commodity that I really wanted to touch on, and that's Brent. And as you can see here, we're still stuck in this kind of downwards moving channel here. Certainly at the moment we're gonna stay neutral, and we're just gonna observe this price action, because for us to, let's say, start looking at some more downside, because it could move a little bit lower. So as you can see by the arrows here, we're looking for this level right here at around 74.90. Now a nice break here below this level could open the path towards lower levels, especially towards this lower bound of the falling channel. That could get tested, but for, like I said, for that we would need to see a nice good break and a close here below the 74.90 level. If this level continues to hold and the bears find it difficult to overcome that barrier, well, I mean, this is where the bulls could pick up and try to maybe push this commodity back up here towards the upper bound of the channel. Certainly at this point we would have to stay sharp, because if we would get a nice break here and eventually a close above this upper bound of the falling channel, now this could actually be something that could interest the more bulls to step in, and we could maybe see this one getting lifted higher towards the previous highs that we saw here around May time, and that's around the 80.50 level. So, but for that, of course, for that to see, we would need to see a nice good break and a close here above this upper bound of the falling channel. So for now, stay sharp, keep your eyes on this 74.90. Let's see what he wants to do with it. Let's jump into one crypto, and as you can see, the big news are coming out this week on crypto, in the crypto world, and yep, all these cryptos are getting hit. So at the moment, as you can see, the Ripple is not an exception, and it's trading lower. But to be honest, as you can see here, this is the important level that I've got highlighted here. This is 0.2465. This was the low that we saw here in August. Even though we had some sell-offs this week, we can see that yesterday we've recovered. We had a bounce back here a little bit, so the day closed in the green, or in my case in here in the blue. So we could potentially see another move here lower. To be honest, at this point in time, we would just continue observing this, stay neutral, because this is what we are going to be looking at here. So if we do get a move back down here towards the 0.2465, now this is where we're going to be very careful, because a nice break here and a close could actually set the stage like for maybe lower levels here, and especially looking at this psychological 0.20 level. Now the 0.20 level has been last seen in December last year. So if, let's say, if the history wants to repeat itself, and this level could get tested again, but for that level to see, for the 0.20 level, we would need to see a nice good break here and a close below the 0.2465. So that's why for now we're gonna stay sharp and just continue monitoring it. But let's say if this crypto decides to move back up here, decides to test the 0.3740 level, approximately there, the 0.3740, a nice good break here and a close could open the path towards higher levels, and also could place this crypto above the 50 EMA. Now this could be maybe seen as a short-term positive. Still, as you can see, overall we're still trading below this downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 10th of February this year. So this downside resistance line could hold it down a little bit, but for us, let's say, to go long here, slightly longer term, we would need to see a nice good break here and a close above this downside resistance line. So for now, if, let's say, looking at the short-term picture, we're staying neutral on this one right now, but to be honest, we're keeping a close eye on these levels here that I was just talking about. So a nice good break here on a close above the 0.3740 could open the path towards higher levels, where we could see maybe a test of the 0.45 initially. If we do see that, we'll just have to reevaluate the whole crypto again. But if, let's say, if this decides to continue pushing lower, well, keep your eyes on the 0.2465. Now a nice break and a close here below could open the path towards the psychological 0.20. Let's jump into a few pairs now, and the first one I want to touch on is the EURCAD. Certainly, as you can see, as you know, today is the big day. We do have the US unemployment rates coming out today. Also, the Canadian numbers are coming out. So big day for the markets, and certainly this is what you can see right now, what's happening on the bigger picture here on the EURCAD. Now it continues on the shorter term perspective. From the shorter term perspective, this is going to be grammatically correct. We are continuing to move here above this upside support line taken from the low of the 15th of August. So around mid-August, this is where we saw the reversal in this pair, and now it continues to climb higher. So jumping into a 4-hour chart on this one, we can see that, yep, we could see maybe a bit of more downside here, but to be honest, the downside could be limited because we could get a rejection here around this upside support line, where more bulls probably could try to take advantage of the lower rate and maybe push it back up here. Certainly, it would be still we should still remain very careful here, and if we do get a break here below this, upside support line, now this could be seen as a perfect opportunity for the bears, and they could maybe drive this one all the way down here towards these key important support levels here at around the 150.75, or even actually lower. But for now, of course, we're not going to just try to predict, the longer future here. We're just going to go slowly, step by step. So for now, you can see where the bulls are trying to fight back here, trying to push it higher, but the only thing is, the problem here is that we are now trading below this 21 EMA and also this 20 SMA here within the Bollinger Band, you can see. So at the moment, it's in the very short term, from the very short term perspective, it's still kind of looking more negative. So but like I said, we could see maybe a bit of further declines, but the further declines could be limited here around this upside support line here. So watch out for that one. You can see that the bulls are really trying to fight back here. So if we do get a nice move back here, back above, keep your eyes on this level here, the 153.70 mark. So approximately there, quite an important level to watch. The 153.70 could be a nice indication. If we do get a nice break here on a close above this level, it could be a nice indication that the pair wants to continue traveling higher. So but like I said, at the moment, all eyes are on this, and just keep this scenario in your heads right now, so just in case. And the last pair that I really wanted to touch on, and that's GBPUSD. So not much, let's say, maybe happening here apart from the Wednesday's move higher here. Overall, still within this downside moving channel. Of course, you can see slowly it's trying to climb higher here, but probably it's going to stay like this for now until the news comes out. The US news comes out, which could move maybe the dollar a little bit. And this is where, if jumping into the 4-hour chart here, you can see this is what's happening right now here. So for us to, let's say, start looking at the possible moves higher here and possible higher levels, we would need to see a nice good break here and a close above this upper bound of the falling channel, where we could maybe start targeting higher levels. Initially, of course, aiming for this little level right here at around 130.45 mark. And certainly if that doesn't hold, well, further acceleration of the rate could be possible. So basically we would go small step by step here. Initially, like I said, if we do get a nice break here above the upper bound of the of this channel, then yep, we're going to aim for the 130.45 then. And if that doesn't hold, well, it is opening the path. It could be opening the path towards higher levels, much higher levels here. The next potential area of strong resistance could be seen around the 132.15 mark. This is something like this could be possible. So, but from the let's say looking at the downside here, you can see that we are getting held here strongly by this 129.15 level, approximately there. You can see that for the all these 4-hour candles here actually couldn't quite manage to break this level, to break the 129.15, so it continues to hold nicely. Also, we could maybe try to let's say speculate here a little bit, and we could maybe see if let's say, let me rephrase that, if we would see a nice break here below the 129.15, now this could open the path towards this next little level of support here at around 128.70. Now certainly that's why I've got this arrow here as a short one, because this is where the pair could get held as well. As you can see, on Wednesday we this is the area where where GBPUSD kind of stopped here and kind of moved back up. So this kind of points out to be for this level to be quite an important one to watch, the 128.70. But if we do get a nice break here, below the 128.70, now this is where the fun stuff for the bears kind of begins, because more bears could start jumping in here if we do get a nice break here below the 128.70, because they could try to drive this pair all the way down here towards the 127.85 mark, approximately there. So something like this, guys. So for now, stay sharp. Like I said, be very careful. Today we got the US unemployment figures, so yep, keep your eyes on this. And like I said, if we do get some sort of news that would strongly affect the dollar, you could see a big move here as well in the British pound against the US dollar. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope you found it useful, and if you want to join me later on today at my Traders Tea Time, and that's 13:15 GMT, 14:15 British summertime, and this is going to be actually after the NFBs are going to come out, so we can have a look at the markets then again. Okay, have a nice day, and bye bye.